Christmas. Shitter was full.
Shitter's full. Shitter's full.
But how did the carpet get wet, Todd?
I don't know.
What's her name in that movie? Well, it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, another great Jew actor. I don't like the way I said Jew there. I don't like the way.
I
love the Jewish people. Love the Jewish people. Larry David.
They're Jews. What's
Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Louis-Dreyfus.
Is this the part of the episode I cut out? No.
Not O.J. Simpson.
So you gotta leave it in.
O.J. Simpson.
Not a Jew.
Not a Jew.
Not a Jew.
But guess who is?
Hall of Famer?
Rad Carew. He convoyed.
He convoyed. So, oh man.
The guy who does the voice for Scooby-Doo.
The owner of the Seattle Supersonicas celebrates Hanukkah.
I hope, God.
I hope I get a harmonica. And it's happy.
So drink your gin and tonica.
Drink your gin and tonica. And smoke your marijuana.
If you really wanna come.
Have a happy Hanukkah.
Everybody.
I feel like our singing's gotten better over the year. I feel like we're really harmonizing.
It's just so funny that this whole movie, we're doing 8 Crazy Nights, by the way. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome back. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah. Actually, no, this will be before our Christmas episode and before the first night of Hanukkah.
Which is the 26th.
No, the first night of Hanukkah is Christmas Day.
Oh,
Isn't
you're
that
right.
crazy?
I'm a week ahead.
Yeah, we're a week ahead. So we got another one to do before this one. But early celebration for Hanukkah for all our Jewish listeners. Which that's not a demographic you can actually look for on the Spotify, like who's listening, because it's like we got a lot of people in America, the UK. It doesn't say black, white, Chinese, Jewish. Doesn't anything in there, but
It's probably better.
500,000 listens. I'm hoping we have some people of different cultures and different backgrounds.
Yeah, you don't want it to be homogenous.
Yes, exactly. I'm hoping we have some people who celebrate.
I mean, we got a damn Indian
Hanukkahs.
for crying out loud.
I'm native. I got Chinese brothers and sisters. That's a story we can talk about later at another point.
That's for later.
Save that for later.
Just trying to go super diverse.
Oh my gosh! But
Trying to win the
welcome.
diversity Olympics.
And for all those who do celebrate Hanukkah,
It's just crazy that this movie basically spawned out of him doing a bit on SNL.
yes, yeah. Well, that's most of SNL movies and characters, dude. Is they were just
Well, that's Adam Sandler's whole career.
yeah, that's true. It is Adam Sandler's.
Happy Gilmore was in a bit.
I mean, Adam Sandler is the bit.
Yeah, it's him. It's him being Adam. Yeah.
I do think it's funny when he came back to host it and they did that thing where it was like the whole family was Adam Sandler.
And it's all his characters.
No,
Yeah.
it's just him going like, oh,
That's all he ever does.
It's really dumb how it works, and I caught myself laughing at this movie, but also being like, God, I'd really enjoyed this movie as a kid, and now watching it, I'm like, why?
Oh, a lot of the humor is it's lowball for kids.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, who is this for, though? And it's you look at the rating, and they're above 15.
Oh, because
maybe less than 18.
It's just because they say bad words and stuff.
Yeah, well,
There's a very small window that this movie you got to be in.
This movie fit.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
it's fine to watch once. It's weird, and you're very what is happening?
Here's how quick you threw once in there. It's fine to watch once.
Yeah, once.
How many times did you watch it? Just once?
Oh, here we go.
I did not do my normal several times through.
Before you're in a room, and to get out, you got to watch a movie 4 times in succession. Are we doing this or Air Bud?
This.
Because it's shorter.
Yep.
Still,
there's a lot more humor to it too.
That's just logical, though. This is an hour 17 with credits, maybe an hour 10.
Ironically, both movies, Dead Dads.
Dead Dads.
I didn't remember,
Dads.
and there's a lot of basketball in both movies.
That's true. This is basically Jewish Air Bud, is what I'm hearing. Do we know Air Bud wasn't Jewish?
So is Whitey the dog?
Yes, that's
he is covered in hair.
It's impossible. No, it's the little kid. The little kid's the dog because they play 2-on-2. Yeah, they play.
It's got to be Whitey. He's
be
covered
Whitey.
in hair.
He's half.
He's the mascot
monkey.
the whole time.
Are you sure you're not a leprechaun? I love that. That was good.
But this is an animated movie, and it's about, what is it, Dan? His name's Danny?
Yeah, Danny Stone.
Yeah.
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 But it's
fucking stupid as shit.
You got to think about all the Christmas movies that
Well, that's the thing.
that we get.
Hey,
Adam
might-
Sandler wanted to make like the Jewish movie, the Hanukkah movie for the Jewish people.
And this was the movie?
That's what I'm talking. Like, what in the hell did you do?
Why, dude? Like, I mean, they barely even talk about, like, there's no significance about Hanukkah or like anything or any of the traditions really. Like they mention the menorah once or twice, and that's about it.
And they mentioned Hanukkah a couple of times, maybe 3.
Yes,
but and it's like, dude, didn't you watch the movies that are Christmas movies? Don't you see the heart and the soul that they have?
We're pretty heavy into like the meaning of Christmas,
Yes,
like, stuff like that. This isn't quite struggling to find
like
the
we've
meaning of
been
Hanukkah.
singing the praises of the Muppet Christmas Carol because it's wonderful.
Yes,
Hey, this might be like the number 1 Hanukkah movie, though.
Because it's like the only
I think
Hanukkah
it's
movie.
the only one. Except I do know he came out with one that looked really funny. I think it's actually starring his daughters. It came out like last year.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard of that.
It's on Netflix. I think it was like, just one of those straight to Netflix movies.
Well, he has like a huge deal with them.
Yeah, he's got the money for it. He's fine. But
Well, I love Adam Sandler. It's
no,
just,
I still love Adam
this is
Sandler.
in his like Jack and Jill. What are we doing here?
God, yeah, Jack
Yeah.
and Jill. And Click was okay.
I love Click.
It was
I'm a
good.
weirdo. I love Click.
Okay. But he does this one where it's about his daughter having
It's
a bar
kind of
mitzvah.
Christmas Carol-y.
Oh, it is kind of Christmas Carol. That's a better Hanukkah Christmas Carol-y movie than this is a Hanukkah Christmas movie.
This movie is
You know what?
pretty bad.
You know
Yeah.
what this movie has in common with The Muppets Christmas Carol? They're both musicals.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And one of them definitely shouldn't have been. Jeez.
Which one?
Yeah, that's right.
better
I'll let
fucking-
you decide. You decide.
Judge you based on your answer. Anyways, but no, he just released one. It's about a bar mitzvah and it's about his daughter's bar mitzvah or something like that. It looked really funny. It looked good, like a good celebration of the Jewish community. But this hurts in a lot of places. It's hard to watch. So it's honestly, it opens up beautifully. The animation looks great. It's very pretty. It's very like just Christmas illustration. Awesome. We open up to introducing to Davy Stone. Sorry, Davy, not Daniel, right?
Yeah,
Davy.
To Davy Stone. He's sitting at a Chinese restaurant, and of
Getting
course,
hammered.
Of course, if there's any ethnic person in this movie, it's being played by Rob Schneider.
He's the Chinese waiter.
And he does
right.
the
Chinese
voiceover.
Waiter, yes. And
I was
going
going
to
to say he's the narrator.
Yeah.
Right?
He is the narrator, but he's in it, and he immediately, his first line is, he walks up and goes, "Wow, 4 scorpion ball in under 5 minutes. That's got to be a restaurant record." It's just, I've listened to it so much. And he goes, now Davey, Adam Sandler, who's voiced by Adam Sandler, it's just vanilla Adam Sandler. And he's like, well, now I'm going to go for the new record, the longest burp.
Yeah.
And you're like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Because it's like, and like some tone quality, and it's just like, and people look, they're like from another booth, and their glass is breaking. You're like,
Yeah.
all right. And
It's
it's just,
really dumb.
yeah. Is this the first time you guys watched this one, or have you seen it before?
I didn't remember ever seeing it before.
I had seen it before.
You had in the theaters or VHS or something like that.
Like on YouTube.
Oh, like on the YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I actually saw this. It was Thanksgiving break, and I was over in Tampa visiting my relatives that live south that area, and they're like, "Let's go to a movie on Thanksgiving Day."
You saw it in the theater?
I went and saw this in theaters.
Wow.
in an almost abandoned mall. It was so bad.
Oh,
Like
that's
Sunset Place?
fitting
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah. It was like Sunset. Like
So
Sunset is
there.
now, but in 2002. When
Like
this
the only
came
thing
out.
left there is movie theater.
Yeah, it's pretty much. But yeah, I saw this in theater, and even then I was like, should I be watching this? Because I was only like 12 or like 11 years old. Like, no, sorry, let me think. I was 13. I was 13 years old. And I was like, it's not for me.
This stuff I feel like draws on like a lot of his stand-up stuff. Like Whitey is a character from his stand-up like comedy CDs.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to a lot of his comedy CDs. I've seen his.
good.
I've seen his Netflix
funny.
specials. They look funny.
Because he
I love
does
you.
the voice of Whitey. Yeah.
I will say the voice of Whitey cracked me up a lot because of the enunciations. Like, he's got no responsibilities.
Yeah.
The problem is that the voice is so grating and so hard to listen to, and
so
he's
hard.
like 70% of this movie.
It's mostly Whitey.
And then
talking.
you meet, when you meet his
he's
sister,
like the 1B main character.
yeah,
when you see his sister later in the movie, you're like, okay, great. What's he gonna? Oh my god, it's like the same voice.
Right.
Oh Lord.
But it's like this. You brought up a good point. It's like this whole movie could have been just only about Whitey and like what was Stone contributing to, because even at the end, Jennifer would have maybe stood up and said something about, you know, the patch for Whitey and stuff, and maybe that would have changed the same outcome.
It's just to give you that heart gripping moment when they tell the story about the JCC basketball game.
Yeah. So
That's the one part of this movie that I was like, oh damn, that was really real. Like that.
yeah, and that's the thing is like Adam Sandler knows how to draw up a heartfelt storyline.
Dude, he's in some amazing movies, like
Yes.
straight up comedies from early in his career. Your Happy Gilmore's, your Billy Madison's. This is Billy Madison with a holiday theme.
Yeah,
That's basically what it is.
but without
Billy, I feel like
even
Billy Madison hits better.
Of course it does.
yes,
Yeah.
but like
This is Billy Madison with a holiday theme. You can't put a holiday theme on a Billy Madison movie.
less refined jokes too. Like Billy
It's like,
Madison
oh, here's
jokes are
poop.
so much funnier. Yes. Oh look, deer shitting everywhere. It's
Like
hilarious.
What? Oh, and the like the whole scene with the porta potty.
Oh, dude. Okay, so
We'll get there.
so Davy
he-
Stone,
He goes.
he's a
on-
delinquent.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
basically he's
He
like
runs out on the check.
He's an
Yeah.
F up,
Then
and
he's
he runs out on the.
pretending to fuck his car.
That's yeah.
So because he's drunk and the cops catch him, and he's like, "No, I'm not gonna drive."
saying
it."
goodnight to my car.
yeah.
But then
And-
but then the whole like pretending to have sex with his like.
Yeah.
And he like
Is this a
licks
kids
it.
movie?
Yes. Who is this
What
for?
is this?
Who is this for?
And this is supposed to be like the quintessential Hanukkah movie.
yes, this is the one representing Hanukkah.
I've never seen a I mean, there are Christmas movies now, like you got your Bad Santa and stuff like that, where it's like terror, like
Or the
But-
one where Jack Black plays Satan.
oh
the
yeah,
new
that's
one?
that's
Yeah.
brand new. Did you see
Yeah.
it?
I've seen a clip of it.
I saw
where
the clips,
The kid
yeah.
writes a letter to Santa,
the trailer.
but he
Can't
spells
spell it
Satan.
right. Yeah.
And Jack Black's like, "What are you talking about? Like he doing all this stuff?" And then he's like, "You wouldn't happen to have a problem with spelling, would you?" And the kid's like, "Yeah." And he's like,
Oh no. Well, so Davy Stone and again Rob Schneider is the Chinese owner of the restaurant.
Yeah.
And he comes running out and he says, "He dine and dash me. He chew and screw me. He ran out on his ticket or something like that." And the cops are chasing after him. And you get, you know, I was like, okay, it's a musical. All right. Like
He gets like a trash can lid and starts like
Yeah.
snowboarding through the town.
the burp was off and it was awkward and not funny.
The
But
Car
banging
part
car.
is
but
off.
the car part was weird. It's still kind of like I get it. It's kind of his humor because then when they pan to the cop and he's kind of crying because he's like emotional about Davy's sexual relationship with his car, and he's like, "Oh, it's so beautiful," or something. Like, all right, bud.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he goes up and we get our first musical number, and I had forgot that it's a musical.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I was like, "This is catchy." All right. And the one part, and this was the only one that I actually laughed out loud. Was he goes, "But maybe I'll give these old ladies melons a squeeze," and
Yeah.
you see the old lady's back, and you see him like just wrench him, and then she turns around, she's holding two watermelons, and they have his handprints on it, and I was like, "All right, that's the line. That's
children.
that's the
children's humor.
corridor you're gonna walk on. That you should be the rest of this movie because that's funny."
There's the tightrope.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the tightrope. You can walk that line, you'll have a great movie. But then we just went off in so many directions. So he gets caught. He goes to courthouse.
He gets on a snowmobile, so then he
Yes.
gets hit with DUI,
Yes.
and he goes to the courthouse, and the judge is going to send him to prison, and Whitey's like, "No, Your Honor."
He's gonna send him to prison for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Federal.
Because he's
for
tried
it.
everything from
Yeah. Hey,
rehab to
And the best is like he's like Whitey stands up in the courthouse and he's like, "Happy Hanukkah," and they're like, "You're not Jewish." He's like, "Yeah, but that doesn't stop me from partaking in the holiday."
Yeah. The Chinese guy. I'm not Jewish. Rob Schneider doing the Chinese accent though. That's pretty good. That's still
But-
funny.
Rob Schneider makes me laugh.
Yeah.
So Whitey's a volunteer referee for JCC basketball.
Has been for 30 years.
yeah. So
35
he's
years.
known Davey. You're right. 35 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
and he
no
basically
name.
tells him like, have him come work for me, and let's see if we can like turn him around. The judge is like, "Okay, but you break another law and you're going to jail for 10 years."
You're out.
And so he basically goes to be a ref with Whitey, and Whitey doesn't even realize that like he's being a dick to him because he's like, "Oh, have you done your pregame stretching?"
Yes.
And Adam Sandler's like, "Oh no," and he starts flipping him off.
Yeah.
He's like, 1, 2, and Whitey's like, "Yeah." This was a joke that got me. He was like, "Yeah, okay, but don't forget your hamstrings." Like, that one, I was like, "Damn, that was a good joke." Okay.
Well, there's like the heart. The heart is like in Whitey. The possibility of a heart in this movie is in Whitey, but then it's thrown off like when they're in the locker room and Whitey's gonna put on his jock strap.
Oh yeah.
And then
Why?
Yeah, he steps into his jock strap, and then it turned like Adam Sandler makes a comment about his ass, and it shows you this guy's ass, and it literally looks like
A Wookiee.
a dog. Like,
Yes.
it's like a dog's body.
It's like a Pomeranian.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
if you put two Pomeranians next to each other and their backs were there.
Boom,
like
boom.
it's that hairy and it's white. And then like, what is going on here? Like, what is happening?
Who was that for?
Is this funny?
Yes.
Like, who is this funny for?
Like
Yeah.
the whole mismatched feet thing where he's like, men's
yes,
size 11,
Yes.
child size 9.
9. Yeah.
At your service. And he's like tap dancing.
And then it's like, all
yeah.
right, well, okay, I guess that's humor, but we're laughing at this guy being disabled.
Super
Whatever.
hairy.
Okay, I mean, okay, it's not that bad. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So then they referee the game, and
yeah.
he's like, "You can't come out here with those harsh little sneakers on." He's like, "All right, I'll referee in my
He
socks."
kicks
And
his
he
shoe
like
into the
knocks the
light.
guy out.
Yeah.
Smashes the light, and then it falls and knocks the dude out, and he starts the game with his head by blowing the horn.
Yeah.
And then during the game,
He just stands
he's
there.
standing there, and then Whitey's trying to call the game, and then he ends up having a seizure. And it's like, what the hell is happening?
Oh, yeah, 'cause-
we're supposed to
Yeah.
be laughing because this old man is having a seizure.
Because a kid gets
Disabled.
tripped, and Whitey's like, "You're not gonna call anything," and he's like, "Okay, like foul on Fatty for eating everything," and the
And
kid's like,
yeah, and his boobs are so big, whatever. For not wearing a bra.
Yeah, and next time you're on my court, wear a bra. And then Whitey's like, "He's just joking, son. You got very nice
Nice boobs."
boobs."
Yeah.
The way he says boobs got me a little bit. And, I hope
And then
that
he says
gets to you.
something else, and that like throws Whitey into a seizure because he uses like profanity or something like that.
Oh yeah, well he tells them, he's like, "All right, the game's over, and this fat kid's team loses because I want to see him cry again." And he's
Yeah.
standing over with his parents,
And he starts crying again.
And then yeah, you're right. Something does happen that Whitey has a seizure in the middle of the court.
Yeah.
and it's like, man, dude, would you laugh at an old person? Like he's like putting his foot on him.
Yeah,
I
he's
was like, I
holding
guess
him down with his foot.
I guess like keep him still a little bit. Like
I guess he
we're not
tells everybody to leave.
we're not saving the cat at all in this.
No.
Like you need to have something about your character that's like, okay,
And apparently
him.
they toned Davy down.
Oh, really?
Because they made him so hateable that at the end of the movie, like even
You
when you
didn't
find
care.
out what happens, it like doesn't redeem his character, and it still barely does. Like
Yeah, I
he's
still don't-
so shitty the whole movie that it's like, dude, what in the hell? Like
I don't know if I even care at the end about like their
there's
relationship,
not
dude.
enough time between him being crappy and him becoming likable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Once
rapid.
he becomes likable to the end of the movie is such a short span
Yeah.
that you
Well,
don't care about him. Like there's
Like,
no
then-
build to
well,
it.
and then you find out that like Whitey loves the mall.
Yeah. So
Like
they go
'cause
to the mall.
and like he does all the that part was pretty clever where he's doing
socks, my buddy. The Foot Locker.
yeah,
Can you
and then
name
everything rhymed at the end, and he was like, "Holy crap! Did you do that on purpose?" And he was like,
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
like that. That's the kind of stuff that makes me laugh.
Right.
And that's
Like,
what we're saying. Like that's what we're talking about. Like
That's
he's
the
the heart.
tightrope.
He's the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
oh, that was kind of weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it should be that way, but it shouldn't be like beating up the heart so much.
Right.
It's so relentless.
Like Billy Madison, he's an asshole, but there's something about him
Because
that you
he's-
still
Because
like.
he's a child.
because he's not very intelligent.
He's
Yes.
a drunk child.
He's a drunk child.
Davey is like going out of his way to be horrible to people.
Happy Gilmore. He's still a loser at the beginning of that movie, but he's playing for hockey. But he's then fighting for his grandmother's house, to save his grandmother's house, and he cares genuinely about her. This, it's like, dude,
And he's kind of stupid.
and he's kind of stupid, and there's nothing, but there's nothing here,
Mr. Deeds.
Yeah.
he's kind of stupid.
Forrest Gump,
and he's just this.
Not him, but
not
I
him.
was gonna
Stupid,
say
but
that's
kinda
not
stupid.
Sandler.
lovable. You know, you just if you're gonna make him a dickhead, not that Forrest Gump, take it out of there.
Right,
If you're gonna make him a dickhead, you got to make him kind of stupid.
little stupid,
Yeah.
little stupid, yeah. But no, he's sitting there like, I just know everything, and everyone else is like stupid.
An a-hole.
I watched this whole video that I found about the director of this movie and how, like, where he came from in animation and the time that this was all done. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
But a lot of the videos that I watched, like Nostalgia Critic and those guys that I try to watch regularly to get their takes on this stuff because they do a lot of these movies that we do.
We need to reach out to those guys.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
But
see who we want to reach out to.
Yeah.
But they were all giving this movie a lot of shit for the product placement, and in the video that I watched, apparently they approached those companies and asked them, "Could we use your logos
like
and your
Panda
your
Express.
mascots and stuff in the movie?" Like supposedly, according to that video, it wasn't product placement. Like they weren't sponsored by those.
yeah,
It didn't.
and they didn't get permission to.
That didn't
they?
really bother me.
Well, some people they get so bent out of shape. Like in like the original Superman movie, in Superman 1, when he gets thrown into this like semi,
Yeah,
and it's like a big marble truck, and he gets thrown into it,
right.
and it's like. Yeah, but like when you look around in real life, there's like big Chiquita Banana trucks driving around. Like this shit happens.
That's what a
dude.
mall would actually look like.
Right.
There would be a bunch of name brand
And then what
stores.
they're saying is like, oh, so his favorite place is the mall, and now he's gonna name these places, and their signs are huge in the back. And it's like, whatever, dude. I mean, you don't make movies; it's expensive as
he's
shit.
like a 75-year-old man that lives in the middle of nowhere, of course,
by himself
Yeah,
with
dude.
his weirdo sister,
twin sister. Of course,
basically by himself.
because
they're the same person.
with his other half.
Yes, yeah.
But of course, his favorite place is the mall. It's the only place he gets outside human interaction.
Yeah, dude. Well, so he goes up and he's trying to coach Davey like about being a good person a little
And
bit.
then you meet
Jennifer
and her son.
her son Benjamin.
Yeah, and it's Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
the third night.
He's talked about in the movie how like he hates Hanukkah. Like I hate Hanukkah and I hate myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good line at the end of that one song where he's like, I hate love, I hate you.
And I hate myself.
I hate me.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
So that's
decent
setting it
line.
up like, oh, he hates himself and we're going to have to figure out why.
Why do you hate yourself?
Exact, Davey. But I will say like
Yeah.
a couple of the like my favorite lines in this movie happen like with Whitey because he's like
No, Whitey
don't-
has the best lines.
He's
yeah.
like, don't be afraid. Like, talk to Whitey, to the son. And he's like, oh, hey, Mr. Whitey. He's like, hey, what you got there? He's like, oh, I got this for Hanukkah. And he's like, oh, an Etch-a-Sketch. And Adam Sandler's like, it's a Game Boy, you moron.
yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not up to date on the latest technology.
No, but there's my
Whitey turns into John Travolta.
turns into John Travolta. Hey, yo.
Hey, Sandy.
Yo.
Get you outside of school.
Sandy. No, but they're sitting there and he has a bucket of fries or something like that, and Davey just like an asshole.
He lays it out to him.
Lays
He's
him
like,
out, and
he's like, you got to do this and we got to do it right.
yeah,
And he
but like Davey spills the fries,
and it's just
and it says,
bite me.
"Bite
It's
me."
the best joke in the
and
whole movie.
Whitey looks at him and goes, "Joke's on you, pal. I can't read."
Yeah. So many like things where it's like, what is going on?
He's 4'8".
That's
Has
a good-
two
that's a good
enormous
joke.
feet difference, and he
That's a good
can't
joke.
read.
Yeah.
He's illiterate, and he volunteers.
Size 11 and
Yes.
a child size 9.
Yeah.
Child's 9.
And so
men's
they're
11.
so she gives him like sugar-free donuts because Eleanor has diabetes
Yes.
and all this stuff. And then he's just an asshole for no reason. Like
Yeah.
he's like, all right, relax, it's just a donut. Like and she's like, what? You just let him have it. Like
Yeah,
what's the
dude.
big deal?
Let him enjoy his donut.
Oh, and
yeah.
he talks about her butt.
Yeah.
And Whitey, it's technical foul.
Yeah. That Jennifer's butt isn't sugar free.
That's a thing.
That thing looks sweet. And I was like,
Technical
oh, no.
foul is a thing.
Yes,
That's-
in basketball.
Yeah.
That's a technical foul.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude.
And so Whitey's like, that's it. Like, I'm driving you home.
Yeah.
Get in the car. And so they're driving home and he starts eating peanut brittle. And Whitey's like, how's the peanut brittle?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's great. It's crunchy. And he's like, I don't remember. And he knows like everybody in the mall. He's like, I don't remember this person ringing it up for you. And he's like, well, I guess that means I stole it, didn't
Yeah.
I? And he like has a seizure.
Yeah, while he's driving.
And then he stops. He's like, get out of the car. And he's like, oh, you're going to make me
Like,
walk
does the
10
thing-
feet?
Yes.
He does the thing at that part where he's dribbling Whitey
yeah.
in the front
Yeah.
seat.
He's like, don't think because of my size you can intimidate me. He's like, oh, are you short? I didn't notice. And he starts bouncing Whitey in his old huge Cadillac that he owns, and starts just bouncing him up and down.
He's like, put me down.
Yeah, and he's like, you're not welcome in my car. I was like, really, idiot? Because this is where I live.
I'm like,
nothing's redeemable
but
about
like
it.
that's what's supposed to make you feel bad for him. Like, oh my god, he lives in a trailer. Like,
oh, it's like a Winnebago.
no, because even Whitey's like,
it's like a
because
camper.
even Whitey's like,
behind.
that's where you live.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, if you're gonna be a jackass like that, you deserve to live there. Honestly.
Well, and then like he gets stuck in the snow, and Adam Sandler's just laughing as he tries to get his.
Dude. And a really
do you have any rock salt or gravel?
Obnoxious laugh.
Yeah.
The most obnoxious Adam
They
Sandler.
kind of give you this like, oh, feel bad for him because he's laying in his bed and he's fully clothed.
And he's cold.
Well, he's breathing, and you could see his breath like it's freezing inside. And it's just like, well, you kind of deserve everything you're getting.
Yeah, dude, I don't care about you.
Yeah, you're a terrible person.
Yeah.
And then the weird deer show up.
Oh, God, the first deer encounter.
But at this point, it's not weird because like the deer just help him.
They're just kind of magical deer.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, the deer like Whitey.
I feel like
Whitey must feed him or something.
That was an early script edition where they're like, okay, then he's like Snow White, the magic.
Right.
He's a Disney princess.
Help me out here, fellas.
Yeah, magical deer come and they push his car, get him, get some traction, get him rolling.
Whoa.
And then second edition of those scripts are like, what do the deer come back? And they're like just constantly.
They're there the
helping
whole
him
time.
out. Like they just keep being more and more.
They keep showing up.
Yeah,
And
which
so-
we get.
Yeah,
Which
and
would
then-
have been fine.
Right. Except
Fine.
for
Had they
one
made
part.
better decisions.
Or except for 2 parts with the deers.
Had they made better decisions, it would have been fine.
Well, they fell off the trapeze, is what happened. They just
And so then you get to see Whitey's house. You get to meet his fraternal twin sister Eleanor.
Eleanor. Yes. Oh my
He's all freaked out because somebody stole one of her wigs.
Like way back in the day.
You don't know that, though.
40 years ago.
Yeah, you don't know that till later on.
No,
Yes.
he says it.
Well, she said
She's like, because he's like, you were an hour and a half late. I already called the morgue and they said you weren't there, but I should try back later. That's a good joke, actually.
she's like, it's like he tells him, it's like, with the hoodlums who stole my wig.
And he's like, Eleanor, that was 40 years ago.
I'm still shaking. And if I can almost do Eleanor's voice, you know this is all Adam Sandler. Like that's
And
all
so
Adam Sandler.
they soak their feet every night. Like they have like their own chairs. So it's supposed to be, and he decorates his whole house. Like he has Hanukkah stuff. He has Christmas stuff.
He's the man
like
of the
Whitey
people.
just wants holiday, baby. Like let's do it.
All he does for a living is go around because he
Doing odd
volunteers.
jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
you-
like does whatever for whatever
Yeah,
money.
you learn that he does odd jobs, so people take advantage of him. Like they have him putting the tree back up because Adam Sandler knocked it down with the snowmobile.
Oh no, I thought he knocked down the ice Santa.
Oh, the ice Santa.
and the ice menorah.
No,
Yeah.
but when he did the thing, he like knocked a star off the tree where the carolers were. When he hit the remember when he like farts to
yes,
make
we
himself
didn't even talk
propel
about that.
himself?
Yes. In the first sequence when I'm like, hey, the song's pretty good, he then says, I'll blow a beef your way or something
He
like
moons
that,
the choir
and blows a fart
and then propels himself.
that projectiles him at 20 miles an hour riding a trash can lid.
It's terrible.
And there's no like, it doesn't really like he's
That's the things. That's
Effort.
like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yes.
Why are we making
If
constant fart jokes?
Well, if they cut like all the constant fart jokes and just left some of like the Whitey, and then it would be a more decent, like it would be a more watchable
Dude.
movie.
Yes.
It would have more replayability.
You get rid of the stupid, like those are like such lowbrow humor. Like
Yeah.
it's such bottom of the barrel humor that it's like, dude, this is not the movie for it.
Well, which like that's
take
what made
out,
me think it
take
was
out
for,
the
like,
seizures that Whitey has. Take out the fart jokes and the poop jokes and that kind of stuff. And this movie immediately raises up like 10 points, 15 points.
You
in
get a couple stars off of that.
Yeah, like come on.
So like the scene that we're gonna talk about next, which is like the first one where they really fall off the trapeze hard,
Oh my god, yeah.
is the porta potty scene. So the guy that he puts the star up there and he falls down, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, thanks."
Yeah.
It's a jackass in the box, ha 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 ha, because he falls into a present. And then he's like, "Anything else I can help you with?" And he's like, "If you clean the porta potties, I'll give you $1." And so he's like, "Consider it done. Good doing business with you."
Pleasure doing business with you.
So he's just and it's not like he's in there like scrubbing them. He's just
Yeah, he's just hosing
them
down.
out.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler's in there puking, and he's like, "That's what happens when you hit the bottle. You go to sleep in Newsbury, end up in Pukesbury." And so like you're like, oh, it's funny, and then Adam Sandler kicks him into a porta potty and shoves him down the hill.
It totally could have killed this guy.
Well,
That
yeah, which,
saved
like-
him from 10 years in prison.
Easily.
Which, okay, fine, it's a poop joke, and he comes out and he's like, the worst has happened. I'm covered in feces.
Yes.
And then Adam Sandler's like, oh, I should hose you off. And he
For health reasons.
sprays him, and he freezes. And then if they just left
Just
it,
leaves him there to die.
but
That's
if
it.
they just left it at like, smell you later, poopsicle, like that would be okay. Yeah, it's lowbrow, but it's still funny.
Dude.
The bad part
you need
is,
to cut it back before the poop. In my opinion.
oh, okay,
yeah.
but
There's too much poop.
Before, if it just landed at the bottom of the hill, cut.
and then no,
Done.
he lands at the bottom of the hill, and if Adam Sandler just yells from the top of the hill like "smell you later, poopsicle," and you don't see it,
End scene.
Yeah.
Done.
but the problem
you get,
is he asks the deer for help again.
yeah.
And they lick the ice to melt it, and they smile at the camera, and there's like poop in their teeth.
They got shit in their teeth.
And I'm like,
the whole
oh,
time.
dude, like that's
It's
just
the worst.
that's
This
just
is
bad.
that's the worst part of this whole movie.
Not
Yeah.
even like like someone thinking
No, the
like
animation's beautiful.
to animate the shit coming
Shit
out
looks
of the
great.
porta potty.
Shit looks
Like,
great.
yeah, the shit looks great because they animated it so richly, and I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
dude, like. And I was like, at first I was like, I think my kids could watch this, and then immediately after that, like that burp, it like triggered something in me and went, no.
You saw the car, and you were like, get out,
I
get
was
out,
like, turn this
gather
off,
him now.
yep, turn this off right now. And it's like I put on something else. I don't remember what, but I was like, oh, that's
You put
not
on
one.
the episode with the holiday armadillo.
Yes, on Friends, so
the
good.
Maccabee.
Like Santa comes in. What the hell are you?
I didn't get to shake my belly like a bowl full of
jelly. Yes. I do appreciate because Whitey had some of the best lines and he had some of the funniest like little moments, but it could definitely cut out the seizures and also in all the fart jokes in this. And you're right, it would have elevated the
Yeah.
comedy at least to somewhere mid-line, something that like, all right, maybe everyone doesn't get it, but at least it's humorous enough.
Yeah.
Well, you got to lowball if you want like kids to watch it. Like you have to have like some fart jokes and burp jokes and stuff.
I just wondered,
do
like,
you?
Eh.
Did you watch Charlie Brown Christmas and Rudolph the Red-Nosed? You watch? That's what I'm saying. He wants this to be like a Hanukkah movie.
Are you telling me if Charlie Brown fell down a hill in a porta potty and emerged covered in shit, you wouldn't laugh at that a little bit? You're a better person.
I mean, I don't know. I
I'm
don't
joking.
know. I'd have to be a little kid again to find that funny, I
To
guess.
see if that's what I get. And Snoopy comes over and he licks him clean.
Oh, come on.
That's where you lost me.
Exactly. That's the point. Everyone should have lost in this
And then
movie.
you're supposed to get like the first redeeming act of Davy, which is where
They're at basketball.
Whitey basically makes him go to open gym.
Yeah.
So he can watch basketball. He can give him a refresher course. And like these guys are playing and he barrels into a guy and he's like, charge our ball. And Whitey's
Right.
like, actually, it's not a charge because the defender didn't have his feet set.
planted, yeah.
And you learn that like her son is trash at basketball.
He's not good.
No, he's trash.
And
Yeah.
Whitey's watching him because she had to work.
A double
she had to
shift.
pull a double
Yeah.
shift because her husband
Dunkin' Donuts?
He went up
Dunkin'
and-
Donuts, right?
He went and left for some guy he met on the computer.
Yeah.
That
13
reminds me,
years of
When he
marriage.
said that, the only thing I thought of that made me laugh harder than the movie was: have you ever seen those old GI Joe where they dub the end of GI Joe
Oh, yeah. The
episodes?
PSAs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where they dub the PSAs, and the GI Joe comes up to a little kid and he's like, "Help, computer!" and he's
Help,
like,
computer.
"I don't know much about computers except the one we got in my mom's house. I got a couple games on there."
The only one of those PSA ones, the dubbed ones that I saw, was they accidentally set like a grease fire in their
Oh, the
kitchen.
pork chop sandwiches.
Oh yeah, and like the kid just goes,
You're not cooking.
but the kid goes,
And the guy and the GI Joe runs in. He's like, pork chop sandwiches. Get out of here, you idiots! Oh my god, it's freaking! He gets him outside. He's like, man, those sandwiches sure did smell good.
There's so many better things to talk about than 8 Crazy Nights in this episode. I'm sad to say this is the 8 Crazy Nights episode.
That's like the one where he's like skating across the ice. He's like, last one, there's a penis pump.
Oh, we didn't even say when they're at the mall though. So Whitey is all excited
Oh,
about
they
the
meet the
patch,
mayor.
and
Yeah,
they meet
yeah.
the mayor.
You're right.
Whose name is the stupidest fucking Stewie Dewey is the mayor's name.
And it's Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon.
Which is funny because I find Kevin Nealon's voice funny. So that's just.
Well, it's all his
It's
all his
SNL
friends.
buddies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
his
his friends.
friends.
Just SNL buddies. So,
Which when they do a live action movie, like I'm glad he keeps those same guys because those movies are funny.
Yeah.
yeah, not to mention they're coming out with Happy Gilmore 2, which they said they're holding no.
Yeah, they're like,
bars against
if you
this.
don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah. So anyway, so they meet the mayor and Whitey's all excited about this patch.
Oh,
which
I
is
could
just,
win the patch. You could win the patch.
It's just like a community, recognition thing award, and just letting them know like, okay, we see what you're doing, we care, and so he's all excited about it, and then Adam Sandler gets one line in where he goes, yeah, and good and nice seeing you too, Mayor. And by the way, the answer to your question is Spencer's gift does have fuzzy underwear. And I was like, that's such a jackass move to
And
do.
the old lady's like right next
You're
to him.
sick.
Yeah.
You're sick.
You're sick.
And the mayor's like,
Yeah, that's the best way to
can
fight
we,
it.
Judge,
Just
can we send
ignore
him to
it.
prison for that? No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That might defamation of character. Maybe.
crime,
Not
It
a
is.
crime. Yeah. Oh, is it? Is that?
Defamation of character?
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
you can
up
sue
there.
somebody for defamation.
There it is.
But,
It's up there.
but anyway, so you're supposed to get the first redeeming quality of Davey where you realize like he's actually really talented at basketball. Like
Yeah.
he was really good at, which Adam Sandler in real life good at basketball.
But they start the game with Whitey and Davey, and Whitey's like, "Okay, wear shirts," and he's like, "Oh God, does that mean wear skins?"
Yeah.
And he takes off his shirt, and
Yeah,
he's
he-
like, "I don't
he
see any
looks like
skin."
he looks like the Wampa from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Except his belly, like just around his belly button, is perfectly bare.
Dude,
It's like a gorilla.
he's like a gorilla. Yeah.
That got me a little bit because he's like, "Hey,
No,
buddy,
you know what he looks like?
I don't see any skin."
The abominable snowman from Expedition Everest.
Oh yeah, the one just claws at you on the roller coaster at Disney Animal
Yeah.
Kingdom. Yeah, man. Yeah. He goes, "Just pass me the ball," and he goes, "All right, Fuzzy Wuzzy." That got me a little
This
bit.
scene's not horrible.
Got me a little bit. Yeah.
And so
That's the issue.
Yeah.
That's
with
the
this
line.
That's the
That's
issue
the
with
line.
this
It has
movie.
its- it has its
is that
moments
it's
where
like
you're like,
this
"Oh, that's
movie
pretty
has
good."
potential to be funny and has potential to be a good Hanukkah movie
Yeah.
if you put Hanukkah in it and you take all the retarded crap out of it.
Yes. Well, and I still laughed. I mean, it was like it's terrible physical humor to an old person, but I was like, it's animated, so it's all right. I mean, we still laugh a lot of stuff at Family Guy, but they're playing basketball, and Whitey goes up for a shot, and he shoots it, and the other guy comes and beams that basketball into Whitey's face, and he does like a backflip into
Yeah.
it,
And Adam
he's
Sandler's
just like passed
and
out.
Davey's like, "Oh God, are you dead?"
You finally
like-
dead, old man.
And he like pulls the ball off
Yeah.
his face, and he's like, "I'll be over in the morning to feed the cats, Mrs. Johnson."
Yes.
And he's like, "Well, he's done."
Yeah.
And he looks
Yeah.
at the kid, and he's like, "You're in."
Well, he takes Whitey and puts him over on the bleachers.
Yeah.
And this is again
It-
where he takes it way too far.
Puts his hand in his pants,
And he goes, "All right, we ready?" And then he's like, "One more thing," and turns around and shoves his hand down his pants. And not only shoves his hand down his pants, but I'm pretty sure puts a finger in his butt
Yes.
because
Yeah.
of the stuff that Whitey's saying
Yeah.
about
At
like,
the end,
"Oh,
yeah.
the cat has no teeth." Blah blah blah.
You feel your mouth,
Yeah,
kitty,
it's
but
like-
you got no teeth.
Like, what the hell? Like, why did we have to do that?
This was the part where my wife walked out.
like
She
you
went,
could have
"Ah."
just put him on the bench, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, like
been
you
funny.
put him on the bench, good. It was like,
right.
ha ha ha, you
All
had
right.
your laugh.
Yeah.
But the pants down, like, come on, dude.
And then
Ah, so stupid.
he's the
So he's
kid's
playing
like
Benjamin. Yeah.
and Benjamin's like, "I'm kind of bad," and he's like, "That's all right."
Not only that, but we didn't cover how the fact that Adam Sandler takes his shirt off and is like
Jacked.
chiseled.
Yeah, he's still
Well, he can't-
He's got
ripped.
huge
He
pecs.
can't
and
afford.
abs.
He can't afford to eat, so there's a lot of intermittent fasting.
Yeah,
going
this,
on.
this is the body Adam Sandler was hoping for, like in his early 40s when he was doing this. Jeez, dude. Because I was thinking, honestly, I remembered Columbia Pictures that put out this. Wait, is it Columbia? Yeah, Columbia. They did
Yeah,
Big
'cause they-
Daddy.
because
They
make-
put out all the worst.
Yeah, they did
'Cause
Big
at the
Daddy
be-
the year
did?
before.
Because at the beginning of the movie, it's Eleanor as the Columbia record thing
Yeah,
until
as
it
the-
turns
Yeah.
into the statue.
Yeah. But just the year prior, 2001, they did Big Daddy. Big Daddy was a huge hit. It was the one that
I
like
want my own ass.
yeah, it put Adam Sandler on like the A-list celebrity. And then they're like, well, we need another movie out of you. Let's do something real quick. And I guess he was just like, I'll half-ass a Hanukkah movie if you want.
I'll take half of my stand-up and throw it in a Hanukkah movie.
Let's do it. And they were just like, fine, you just make money. And then this
Because even the
comes out.
Spencer's Gifts thing is part of his stand-up.
That's true. Oh,
where
yeah.
they buy like boner pills for little kids.
Oh, what?
It's a skit where like this kid, to prank the basketball team, buys like Viagra, and Whitey is the one who finds them, and he's like explaining it, and he's like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And like it was just like but that's just, if you don't want to listen to his stand-up, you don't have to listen to it.
Well, they do make a joke where they're like, Whitey's so naive, he thinks Viagra is a waterfall or something like that.
He thinks
And
it's
you're
a
like,
giant
"All right."
waterfall.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what flipping him off is.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
But anyway,
Benjamin's in the game,
and he's like, when I tell you to shoot it, just put it up. And like Adam Sandler's like an and one basketball player. He's like dribbling
my
between
God,
his legs and all this stuff. And he passes it to him, and he shoots a brick. And he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, that's all right. And he grabs the rebound. And he's like, just keep your elbow in.
Yeah.
And he passes it back
Just
to
coaching him.
And the kid drains it. He's getting better and better. But then at the end, he's like, oh, now we beat you. You have to eat that guy's jockstrap. And it's like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's this super huge fat guy in the corner, and it's Adam Sandler's voice going, Ren, it's you. And you're just, is it enough, Adam? Like, are we done?
And then so that guy, because they lose the basketball game, burns down Adam Sandler's trailer, or Davy's trailer.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Davy's
the
trailer.
guy that eats the
jockstrap, and he's still eating it as he's burning down the
hanging
house.
out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's weird.
For like the rest of the movie. Like most of it, at least.
Like even if he ate his own jockstrap, he'd be like, haha, funny. Like, because that was the bet, and okay. Because the guy was like,
other guy's jock.
but the guy was like, if I lose to you, I'll eat my own jockstrap. And then Adam Sandler was like, we'll play you, but you got to eat that guy's jockstrap.
It's the 400. It's the fat kid's dad from earlier, the
Yeah.
one who got caught at Victoria's Secret at the mall trying on bras.
yeah,
By-
while Davey was doing the singing.
By Benjamin's
Yes.
mom, and she's like, aren't you a boy?
Oh, was it? I don't think it was. I thought it was just a store attendant.
I thought
It
it
was
was
just like,
her.
aren't you a boy? And he just starts crying and running out.
I
You're
feel
like,
bad for the fat kid.
God, dude.
yes.
Yes, of
course you do.
Feel bad for the fat kid. That's because you're a human being
Yeah.
with actual feelings. Yes, feel bad for the fat kid.
So now they win the game, and he's like, now tell him what I told you to say. And
Yeah,
he's like,
Benjamin.
eat that jockstrap, biatch. And his mom's like, Benjamin. And he's like, oh, shit. Like,
So that's when you get this. They're driving home. Whitey's still passed out. You get the line where he says, "I feel it. My fingers in your mouth, kitty, but I don't feel any teeth." And
but you figure out that they were like,
yeah,
they
you
were
find
like
out
boyfriend and girlfriend when they were really little.
they grew up together, and they had a little romance when they were what, like 10 or no 12? Sorry, 12.
yeah.
They was bestest friends.
Bestest.
You gotta come over and watch Dukes of Hazzard later?
Yeah.
That's a big 10-4 there, Davey.
I'll show you my basement. Keep dreaming. Baby.
Keep dreaming, Davey. Too many basements.
Maybe if my parents fall asleep, I'll show you my basement.
Well, it's not as weird.
Maybe
when
if you show me your basement.
It's not as weird when you know that they're married in real life. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
it is Adam Sandler's wife. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And I mean, whatever best thing to keep it in the family because you can avoid the taxes. I can pay her a lot of money before the government says, hey, we need to cut. All right. But yeah, so they're driving home, and it's a great, another good song, like a decent song where he's like, that over there is where,
Yeah.
and he's like, I thought I got some tongue, but it was only retainer.
Yeah.
And then Whitey's line, which again it's decently funny, where he's like, the only time I had sex was on the phone.
Yeah.
And it cuts to this
that
old
was
woman
long
in
ago.
bondage. She's
Yeah.
like, well, that was long ago.
Because that's the theme of the song.
yeah.
Well, then it cuts, isn't it? That's the part where it cuts to the mayor's house.
Yes.
And he's like, my wife is a man.
Was
When
once a man.
My wife was once a
Yeah,
man.
it's like, what are we doing here?
That was long ago. Yeah. I mean, just leave it be, dude. Just
I
we
think the
didn't
problem
need
with
it.
this movie is they beat the dead horse one too many
right.
times.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just.
And so then when his trailer burns down, he's gonna go live with Whitey.
Right. And Eleanor.
And he walks in the house first. This is a funny part where she's like, "Oh my God, it's a home invader."
No. Whitey goes in first, and
Whitey
she
goes
turns
in,
around
yeah.
as Whitey passes her, and she doesn't see him.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
He walks behind. She's sitting in the chair, and he
Yeah.
walks
Yeah,
back.
he like as she's turning the chair, he's passing behind the chair. So when she turns around, it's just Davy standing in her doorway.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God, a home invader!" And she runs in the kitchen, and she's like, "Take whatever you want, but don't kill me."
oh no. And then what did she say? She's like, did he bring you back here to molest you? And it's like, oh God, dude.
So many inappropriate things.
His house just burned down. He's got nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, take off your shoes because you're soaping the carpet.
Yeah, he's like, before you kill us. Yeah. Like, happy Hanukkah, everybody.
So then you get like you get the technical foul song, where he's explaining the rules of his. That's a technical foul. That's the best song in the movie. Is that
was
one?
good, Ty.
Because they're just explaining the rules of his house, and every time you do something wrong, that's the technical foul.
It's so frustrating to me. This movie is so frustrating because there are so many moments, like especially with the Whitey, where it's like, if his voice was a little less graining,
right?
And even with the voice the way it is, it doesn't really bother me. It's the stupidity of some of the shit that he does.
That they force him to say, or
like the hand in the pants and the butt, and the shit. Porta potty thing.
The hand in the pants and the butt.
Yeah, the hand in the pants and the butt.
The hand, that's the shirt right there. The hand and the pants and the butt.
Yeah.
I got so frustrated he went back to last week. The hands and the pants and the butt.
There you go. We'll put it on Nostalgialand shop on Etsy. Just have a Whitey there, and it'll say the hand and the pants and the butt.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. That's a good one, actually.
I like it.
I like it.
I need to write that down.
Just put like the hand in the pants, and then on the back you put and the butt.
And at the bottom in parentheses it says, that's a technical
That's
foul.
a technical foul, yeah. But like that song, like Trey says, that song is a banger. Like it's good. It's probably the best song of the movie. Maybe there's a couple of the slower songs that are pretty good too.
The one with the mall at the end is pretty good.
Yeah, but like it's really good, and that's when Davey starts to really come around because he saw the potential of like he enjoyed coaching the kid, and the kid's reacting to him positively,
and he enjoys like being not by himself,
and
living where
enjoying
there's heat,
like putting his feet, soaking his feet every night. And it's like Whitey Eleanor guest, and he's got his own thing.
He joins in at the end because he's like, I understand what you're saying, but let me just make sure so I'm clear.
And he goes through like a bunch of weird examples.
But he's like, if I make long distance calls, and Eleanor's like, I'll give you a kick in the balls.
Yeah, you figure out she's like a ninja. Like, she has like nunchucks.
But no, then he says something like, and I walk around with my morning erection, and Whitey's like, that's an automatic ejection. And Eleanor's like, but I'd like to see it anyway.
And she's like, no.
And that's the thing. Like it starts to twist the song a little bit. Like we don't need to go there, Adam.
But they bring it. That one they bring back. It never goes like way. Like they tiptoe over the line a few times. But then
that's true.
At the end, it's like okay.
I mean, the erection stuff is like
weird,
dude. You're crossing it.
Yeah,
like you're starting to cross it. Like I can't show this to my kids.
No, this is done
because you're talking about your erection.
I don't want to explain that.
And then you have the scene at the ice rink where you figure out Whitey's like a figure skater, like. Does like a triple backflip and
but after like 18 hours of living with him, he's suddenly like a better person. That's all I'm at. Like I would have actually preferred if they kept us in some scenes because they mentioned like, oh, he hopped from like foster home to foster home. Like so he has no other family.
Well, you don't know that yet.
Well, yeah, but
so this is where
Whitey it would have been good, like to understand the character of like why he's such a piece of shit. Would have been like, oh, he jumped from foster home to foster home, and like he was bullied or like really picked on. I mean, maybe he had a terrible uncle, like Uncle Frank or something like that, who treated him like garbage.
His pants were always down.
Yeah, always pulling. Oh God, dude.
And his dad wasn't there to protect him.
No one was. Kept getting lost. Kept getting lost in New York for some reason. Yeah. No, it's just something else there to explain why you're such a piece of garbage.
But I will say a part that made me laugh was Eleanor's trying to eat a corn dog with a fork and a knife.
Yeah.
And she's like, I understand dipping the hot dog in the breading, but why'd they put the stick
in the middle?
Like,
yes,
you're supposed to hold the stick and eat the corn dog. And she's like, how elegant, or no, how futuristic.
How futuristic. Yes. And that's when he starts explaining, like, okay,
Whitey's like, he was the best basketball player in the state.
The JCC Miracle Game, is that what he calls it?
Yeah,
I think it was something like that. But they're like down 26 points or something.
And their coach, who's like didn't age a day, because you see him later on in the movie.
I think it was supposed to be Steven Spielberg for some reason.
I don't know.
There was a look to him where I was like, I think he's
Isn't he like
referencing
the
somebody.
only Jewish character in the whole movie?
Pretty much, he's like
Yeah.
the only like
There's
Goes
only, like-
by doing like the dance.
There's only like
Hey,
a handful
hey,
of them,
hey,
and they make
hey.
a joke about that later.
Yeah.
But you
There's
find out,
only a handful of
Yeah.
Jews in the town.
yeah. So they make the they tell the backstory about how like Adam Sandler's or Davey is a little kid, and he's like, guys, our parents come to every game, like we should win one for him as like a present to him.
as a
And they're
Hanukkah
like,
gift.
and
yeah.
Jen makes the comment like, well, the only way we're going to do that is if you shoot every shot. And he's like, well, I mean, if you guys don't mind. And
right.
you learn that like this kid is like the Michael Jordan of his JCC. Like he's like throwing the ball off the backboard to himself.
Oh, dude, he's crushing it. He's like Allen Iverson out there, man. Like he's absolutely insane and just scores 20 points in less than 3 minutes or something.
Yeah,
in that
and
game.
he keeps looking at the stands, and his parents aren't showing up. And at the end, he throws like a layup alley oop to Jen.
Yeah, to Jennifer. Yeah,
And he's looking for his parents, and they're not there. And two cops walk in and talk to Whitey, and you figure out that a truck lost control, and his parents died. And like at this part of the movie, you're like, "Whoa, that's sad." Like,
All right.
wait, what?
Yeah.
And you notice, and it makes sense later in the movie that the only thing he grabbed out of his burning trailer was a letter that said to our son Davey.
your son. Dave.
Tell you what, as a 40-year-old man, I knew that guy's dad. That guy's parents were dead like the first 2 minutes of that movie.
Yeah,
Pretty
me
sure
too,
about that.
But like, you don't expect
But
him
as
to
a child, I'm sure you don't really
Yeah.
know.
You don't recognize. Oh, wait.
And so
They're dead.
that's when you get the like he was bounced around from foster home to foster home. He walked right out of that gym and into foster home after foster home. And then basically what happens is like him reliving the trauma triggers him to be a giant asshole again.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Instead of being like super helpful and all this stuff, he's like, "Well, you're bald," and he
But-
like pulls off her wig.
yeah,
It's kind of stupid. It's poor writing, in my opinion, because he keeps saying like, "Stop,
Yeah, like, stop talking about it."
saying it. Don't talk about it." And but they should have let you know this is the story
At the
a
beginning.
lot earlier
Yeah.
in this movie.
Like
Yeah.
when he said, "Oh, you blew your chance with her 14 years ago."
For
pal."
instance,
20 years.
take the poop reindeer out. Replace it with telling us about his poor parents dying,
Or
and
like,
that's
yeah,
why
like,
he is how he is.
even if you want to do even if you want to do the thing where he crawls out of the porta potty, you could have somebody else help like clean him and be like, "Why is he such a dick?" And then
Right.
he tells the
Anything.
story. Yeah.
other than reindeers
that.
licking the poop off of him.
This is it's about 20 minutes too late. And like this movie's only an hour and 17, like I said, and at best with credits, an hour 10
Yeah,
of
you'd
actual
have to-
like
you need to
content.
and
flip-
it feels like it goes on forever.
It does.
Yeah, in order to get him
God,
like
it
to be
does.
as likable as they want him to be, you got to flip that switch way earlier in the movie.
Real quick, dude.
Yeah.
Something redeemable.
It's got to be like
Or
right after
you
the-
add another 10 minutes of them getting along and having fun
Yeah.
together and him being a normal person. He goes from like the song the night before to screaming that he's worthless and he'll
Yeah,
never
and he
win
tells
the medal.
Whitey, like nobody even knows
patch.
you exist.
Yeah, nobody cares about you, Whitey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, and also, throws his wig sister, which lands on Rob Schneider's Chinese guy.
He's
and
like,
goes,
now
I
I'm
look,
the real Christy Yamaguchi.
yes, now I look like real Yamaguchi. And God damn it, Rob Schneider. he makes me laugh.
And
honestly.
so he breaks into the mall. Adam Sandler gets drunk again.
Yeah.
And breaks into the mall to yell at Jennifer, who's obviously not there because it's 10
mall.
o'clock at night. And
Wait, I got to tell you this story.
Oh, please.
I was going to try to save it till we did Big Daddy eventually,
Okay.
but I don't want to forget it and not get it recorded because I heard this story from Rob Schneider where he was talking about how he was brought in to do like Adam wanted to put him in the movie,
Yeah.
and they told him like no, there's no budget for it or whatever. And nice hat, and so he brought him in as like a daily. It's like, so you're going to come in, you're going to shoot this one day. And if you remember in Big Daddy, he is the delivery guy.
Yeah, he's
It's
does
like,
the delivery
he's the
guy,
funniest character in the whole movie.
not his fault, he can't read.
Yeah. Fish, pony, hip hop anonymous.
Electricity, Philadelphia, Constitution. Damn you,
He always gets the easy ones.
But I know you. You always order 3-piece of cheesecake. Sorry. I'm
So,
sorry, Tyler. Go ahead.
He kept bringing him in.
Yeah.
And paying him the daily rate day after day after day for 2 weeks.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And they're like, hey, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah, they're
Like he's supposed to be like a daily guy. Then he convinced them in the end to give him the role in the movie, so he has like a full part. And and it's just like that's the kind of guy that Adam Sandler is, which is why a movie like this is extra frustrating.
Right?
It's like, why are you still doing this dumbass? Like, it's perfectly okay to have childish humor.
Yeah.
It's not okay when the whole movie is ruined by your childish humor. Because this, like we've talked about so many times already in this short episode.
Yeah, dude.
This movie could have been okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying good. Good is a stretch. But it could have been funny. It could have been watchable. Like, so many of these scenes kill the funny.
Yeah.
That's in this movie.
Yeah. Well, like I think to your point though, like they could have caught this earlier. Way earlier, like when they did the porta potty scene, they were like, "Okay, this is too far." And it's like, I understand, Adam, like you want to break boundaries or do something different, but like think about your target audience. You want this to be a movie that everyone thinks about watching during the holiday season. This has to be more approachable.
Do you want to make it the Hanukkah timeless classic?
Yes.
There's nothing timeless or classic about this movie.
like the edgiest you can get is
other than it shouldn't have been made in time.
the edgiest you'd be able to get in this movie and still have it be a holiday holiday classic would be eat that jockstrap, biatch.
Yeah.
Like that would be
Or
a,
like
it.
a little like
Yeah.
fart, but
A
not
little
like
one.
like a
yeah,
big
like
huge pull my pants
instead
down.
of Whitey having a seizure, it could be like he gets nervous and he's like,
And you're like, oh, and like a little fart comes out.
like
But also make it live, like make it live action, dude. Because
even
like
the animation, I'm okay with.
the animation was beautiful, but I feel like these jokes like that would have held them back a little bit. It would have put a barrier. Because
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
guess if it's live action, it'd be difficult to get deer to lick crap off.
yes,
And
exactly.
you wouldn't be able to throw a guy down a hill in a freaking porta potty.
Well, you could in Jackass, but
Right.
that would
Nobody would care.
No one would care. Exactly. It could have been Steve-O, hey, wow, boy. But I just feel like if you'd done it live action, done it in a real town, give it a real place and like actual emotions, because some of the animation and the like you see like the little
doesn't
subtleties,
track.
it doesn't
Yeah.
track. You're right. The faces and the emotions, like you're supposed to get around. Like that whole scene when he walks into Eleanor in their house, he's just like, huh,
Yeah, well,
huh, huh.
He's supposed
Although
to be drunk.
Kind of
That, I
feel
mean,
like
it's
that's
just
the-
Yeah, he's supposed to be
I
drunk.
kind of feel like that's the way it is. Like,
Yeah.
Adam Sandler would kind of be like, whatever, because
Yeah,
he's playing
I guess,
the dick
Yeah.
character.
I guess being like,
But anyway,
whatever,
in
dude,
the plot, Davey breaks into the mall to yell at Jennifer, who's not there.
Not there.
And he's so drunk that like the mall comes alive.
Yeah. He's
And-
hallucinating.
Yeah, and they put him in a chair and they tell him about how he has to cry because
Which-
he never cried about his parents dying. And all
Tom
this
Kenny's in this.
stuff. Yep.
Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, is the voice of the lounge chair.
Yep.
Carl Weathers
Is the GNC strong
yes,
man.
and
Tyra Banks is the empty dress.
Victoria's Secret empty dress, and they got Carl Weathers to say, "Would you check out her bazugs?" Dude,
That's another good song in the movie,
I mean,
in my opinion.
and
He's friends with him.
'Cause there's-
I guess yeah.
There's nothing too crazy. Yeah, you have like the hornball
I mean,
GNC
nothing
Right.
could be better for your career in your life
to be friends with Adam Sandler.
than to become friends with Adam Sandler.
I guess that's true
Because he's like,
I'm so
yo,
for it.
you're my buddy.
Hey, by the way, Adam Sandler, if you agree to be my friend, this will be my top movie ever.
This will be the number one up top.
I still watched it like 4 times.
Well, like Dylan and Cole Sprouse,
That's
though.
not true. Happy Gilmore always be my top.
I do love me some Billy Madison. 50 First Dates is probably my favorite.
But he did use Dylan and Cole Sprouse, who played the kid from Big Daddy. And they were the little gingerbread, the toy
little
soldiers,
toy, like
who were like, "Let it out,
the
Davey."
KB Toys.
Yes,
The KB Toys mascot.
Yeah, dude. So he has this big emotional thing, and they're like, "All right, we're bringing in the big show. Here's the kicker, and it's
Your
the
Hanukkah card.
and he's like, this beautiful
Hanukkah
Hanukkah card, and it comes floating down on a balloon." All right, and opens up and it reads this, and it's actually I heard it was Adam Sandler's actual parents singing, who are like,
his parents are played by his parents
yes,
in the
and
movie.
they're like never changed, you beautiful 12-year-old boy.
And it's a
Yeah.
picture of
Happy
him
Hanukkah.
and Jennifer.
Him and Jennifer and him and his parents, right? Yeah.
No, just the parents
Oh yeah.
And then the other side is him and Jen.
When they were kids.
Right.
So
Well, when the card would be given to him.
again, that's a decent heartfelt moment.
And he's crying in the middle of
all
the
right.
mall.
Yeah.
And the cops catch him and he's like, yeah, that's fine.
He's like, yeah.
And
And then he
Okay.
assaults some
All right.
cops and runs away and doesn't get arrested for
He
that.
assaults them by handcuffing their hands in a way that it looks like they're humping each other. Like it's
Well, he
so
And the one
handcuffs-
cop says,
one
"Oh,
cop-
this is embarrassing."
yeah.
Yeah, one cop has his hands between his legs, like bent over, and the other one's handcuffed to him. So it looks like almost like a quarterback in a center is what it looks like.
Oh,
But
that's a great visual to understand to our listeners who aren't watching. Well done.
I
sir.
tried to give it a.
well
Except
done.
that center doesn't have a hand on the floor.
Well done. I was trying to give you a ding in there, but I can't find the ding. Hold on, where's the ding? Not that.
No.
That's all right. I'll do that one. We'll stick with the air horn. You're the man on that one.
Yeah.
That was classic. Perfect. Oh wait.
There it is.
Hey.
You found the dig.
Yes. After 4 other sound effects. I'm sorry.
That was awesome.
So he makes the decision that he's going to get on a Greyhound bus.
What?
That was awesome.
He makes the decision that he's going to get on a Greyhound and skip town.
Yeah.
And the bus driver is the guy from Waterboy that's like, hey, boy, hey, boy. It's that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's hysterical.
I need to
He's
play
so-
that day.
Who's in?
Joe Dirt.
Yeah, Joe Dirt.
Yeah, I see
Yes.
on where you make it.
Yeah.
What?
Plays the same.
What was that?
Louisiana.
Where you make it.
It's like see homos naked. I
No,
mean, that's cool,
no.
man.
I mean, that's
Home.
weird.
Where you make it.
Oh, okay.
Everybody
right.
know that.
Goddamn. Boy.
Goddamn, boy.
All right. Thanks. See you later. Gotta like see homos naked. I don't know what that
I
has to
guess.
do with me.
Goddamn boy. That's so, yeah.
Goddamn, boy.
So he runs to the cops, goes to Greyhound. The bus.
And he's having the golden flashbacks again.
Yep. And suddenly
And
the
the bus hits a thumbtack and
Blows
blows
out.
all 4 rear tires. And he's
The
like,
guy even comments on it.
he's
too.
like, that's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. This
So-
thing shredded all 4 of my rear tires.
See, I did like in that moment the comedy of like he's like, you some kind of hippie boy, you having a moment there, one of your mushroom trips, and I was like, see, that's good.
Yes.
All right, good. Run with that. That's
Yes.
hilarious. And
Yeah.
like David kind of blows him off and stuff. He's like, run, hippie, run.
Well,
Because
like
they.
this movie would have been fine if not for like one scene at the banquet. Like
Oh, okay.
he gets there
No.
and he wants to
No.
stick up for Whitey.
There's a lot more that would have been fine. Not fine.
There's a lot more
at
that
the
needed to be
banquet,
taken.
really?
But at the
No.
at the banquet sent me
No,
over.
no,
I
I'm
was like,
talking at the
"Jeez."
banquet.
Okay,
in
just at the
particular.
banquet by
Yeah,
itself.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
banquet, fine. Yeah. So they're at the banquet. Kevin Nealon, Mayor, Stewie Dewey.
Yeah, well,
Stupidest
Adam is
name.
like trying to hide from the cops, so he has to like sneak his way there because he's
Yeah.
going to stick up for Whitey.
Yeah.
because he knows what's about to happen.
Right.
It's gonna go to prison for 10 years.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's the Patch Awards, the night
and
of the
so
Patch Award.
like he gets there, and the deer are like all pissed off at him, like what the hell? And he's like, "Okay, fellas, I'm just here to apologize to the guy." And he's like, "If I give myself a wedgie, will that?" So he does that. Which, okay, if you leave that in, it's not a huge deal.
yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's not good, but it's fine.
He grabs his own underwear, rips it over his head, and like
It's
breaks
animated.
it. Yeah.
It's
All
animated.
right,
Yeah.
fine.
So
then there's
then,
the super funny joke later where the cops come looking for him.
and the deer are just in a pyramid.
Yeah, they're like in a cheerleader pyramid. They're all standing on top of each other. And then the one cop's like, what's going on over there? And he's like, there's some deer in a pyramid. And he's like, all right, let's go. And they're like, all right. They just walk off. Like,
that's
what
not
the hell?
That's not what we're looking for.
Yeah. And the funny part is they're not even like really blocking
You can
Adam
see him.
Sandler. He's just standing right there.
But
I would also be like, some deer in a pyramid.
it reminds
What
me of
the
the
hell's
Cat
going on
Williams
right now?
joke where he's like, "Hey, you know I can see you."
You're just like, yeah, that's weird. We should probably move on. Yeah, something satanic is happening
Yeah.
here. The deer have learned
Yeah.
how to create pyramids.
And
And then
then-
they all like fall down. And he's
Yeah.
like, thanks, fellas.
Yeah. And right before they go into the banquet, you find out who stole Eleanor's wig.
The like man.
Yeah,
Random
a
dude.
grown man comes up. He's
Yeah.
like, "Eleanor," and she's like,
Well, it
"Who's-"
happened 40 years ago.
Yeah,
So it was when they were
"Who's
kids.
asking?" And he's like,
Right.
and she's like, "Are you the man who stole my wig?" And he's like, "Yes." And I've been meaning to apologize because and she just karate kicks
Yeah.
dude in the eye.
She roundhouse kicks this dude in the eye and knocks him out cold.
And he had the wig on him.
Yeah.
Like he had the
And
old wig
she's
he
like-
stole on
and
him.
she's like, "Now I feel better."
just
Yes.
carries it around.
Well, no, then Eleanor takes his hand puts it down the
Yeah.
front of his pants while he's knocked out.
I forgot about that part.
So-
take that part out.
Stewie Dewey gets up there. He starts giving his speech. He's like, usually I open these
With a joke.
With a joke. And
Right.
he goes, but I spent so much time at the hardware
And this
store
is the
this
part
year.
that I hate.
I spent so much time at the hardware store this year. I didn't have time. So knock, knock.
Who's there?
Don't you?
Don't you who?
Don't you wish I spent less time at the hardware store so I could think of a great one? And people lose their
Shit. And like
The Rob Schneider character.
is banging his head on the table.
Slamming
with
his head.
After ripping his shirt off.
Yeah.
Yes. And
And-
Whitey's crawling on the table.
And there's the
laughing.
weird three-titted lady.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, we didn't even talk about Three Boobs McGee.
The
Yeah.
third boobed girl from the
Just
Fifth
like,
Element.
what are we doing here?
The third-breasted... The three-breasted whore from Moronic 6.
Yes.
Total Recall? Total
Yeah.
Recall
Total
had a
Recall.
three-call.
That's I
That's
said
the
Fifth Element, but
iconic.
I meant...
That's the iconic three-breasted lady.
Three booby ladies.
That's the three-breasted whore from Moronic 6.
Oh, my God.
The Big Bang Theory, they talk about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But then
Can you
you have
imagine how
the,
old she would be now? How saggy?
the loose skin, the old balls, gross.
You definitely get them done. You get them redone.
And then like
if
it
you're that
cuts,
famous for them, you
it cuts outside to the deer, and the deer are like shitting themselves.
everywhere.
yes.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And the best is that the mom and the little kid's like, Mom, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I don't think they did either.
Yeah, I think
I-
everyone's just really nice.
Trying to be nice to the mayor.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh my God.
makes sense.
But so then he gets up and he presents the award, and John Lovitz wins the award.
well, John, he's like, I dreamed of two
He's like,
things: scoring.
making a left-handed layup,
Yes.
and becoming a multi-billionaire. And he's
Billionaire.
like, I think we know which one came true. And he has a hook hand.
He's it. And Rob Schneider goes, "Wow, sorry, that one caught me by surprise."
Yeah.
That was actually really
That
good.
was awesome.
I've been practicing my Robbie.
That was awesome.
Wow. That at least got me. And then like the Jewish guy keep going, the basketball coach going, doing the kicks.
Yeah,
like,
when
"Hey,
they're all
hey,
laughing,
hey."
he's going,
Yes.
hi. Like it's
like,
not even a
what the
Jewish thing.
hell
It's
is
like the
going
Russian.
on?
It's like in Pinocchio when they do the
It's a
Russian
Jewish thing,
dance.
too.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
So Whitey doesn't win the patch.
that's
true.
So Whitey doesn't win the patch, and Davey goes, "All right."
he's
I'm
like, all
gonna
right,
go in."
boys, and he's talking to the deer, and he goes, okay,
Yeah.
fellas, I'll see you in 10 years.
Yeah.
And he jumps up on the table, and the judge is like, breaking and entering, like you're going, and he's like,
That's it.
let me
Starts tonight.
talk,
You're
let me
going.
talk, and they won't. And then Jen is like, just let him speak.
Yeah.
And the three-breasted lady's like, yeah, then we can send him up the river. And it's like,
There's a cowboy
he's
shoots his
guns.
shooting
Sixers.
his guns in the middle of this
See,
thing too. Yeah,
that
dude.
is fine.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's the kind
funny.
of stuff that's totally cool. It's the weird, like,
deer pooping
cut
themselves.
to the deer shitting himself.
Yeah.
The lady has 3 tits for some reason. Like,
Even the Chinese guy slamming
Still
his
funny.
face on the table.
Still funny.
Still kind of funny.
yeah,
It's
still funny. I'm with it.
But then he makes everybody realize how shitty they've been to Whitey, like
Yeah.
things that they've done to him, all that.
And a great song too.
Yeah.
He's like, in some way, some way you've been connected with Whitey, and he still goes around his way to smile at you or something. It's a good line.
And
It's
so
all right.
Whitey goes to the mall, and I do think it's funny that he has to like chain Eleanor up in the back of the car because she's so phobic of everything that he has to like. She's like straight jacket, and she's like, "Whitey, we
With
could
the
go.
seatbelts?
Yeah,
Maybe
the
the mall's
seatbelts, yeah.
open. It's a miracle. It's the holiday.
These are desperate times.
She's like, we could just stand outside the doors. These
Yeah,
are
We could
desperate
sit in the car in the parking lot. These are desperate times.
please, God. He
And
goes
so
up and- yeah.
he goes and he's like, just give me this. And he opens it. And he's like, oh, thank God. And
Yeah.
he walks into the mall and he like talks to the mall.
Dude, he proceeds to talk like to the mall like they're
He's like, "Hey,
old
Mom.
friends and it's a real person.
We're going to move to Florida. Florida.
I hear they have
I hear
some
they got
nice
some
malls there.
malls there. And I think Eleanor would like
we
the
do.
weather.
Yeah, we do. We have nice malls, nice
I mean,
weather.
for as long as the malls last.
By the way, Sunny D vodka seltzer. It's always delicious to get you through these movies.
Great at a nice mall.
Yes.
Great when you're watching 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah. This would have made that movie great.
I feel like this movie was just trying to sell more of the Hanukkah song, just to give them another chance.
Well, that's
to
the
write
best
another
part.
version of it.
I was gonna say that's
So,
the best part of the movie is
but
you get the Hanukkah song.
You
Part
get another
3.
Hanukkah song, yeah. So, but you're right. So he's talking to the mall, and Davey's
he's-
there hiding in the corner.
Right. He's like, you're not going
and
anywhere.
Eleanor goes, "Holy shit! Did the mall just talk?" That got me. That was pretty.
Again,
decent.
it's
Yeah.
not. It's the reason that this movie it goes from like halfway decent to unbearable is like the jokes that it's like, okay, it's too far.
It's all the poop jokes.
And it makes it
all the sexual
no, because even
nonsense.
Davey being a dick, you could get past that. That's what keeps it from being great.
Oh, you're right.
Well, you get rid of the poop jokes and the other stuff, and you add a little bit more of Davey being a normal person.
Yeah, and
He's
it would
a
be
general human being, dude. Like
They literally try to make him likable in one song.
Yeah.
During the technical foul song.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little montage of them having fun together, and you're supposed to care about him now.
and that doesn't even last.
No.
That doesn't last.
no, it lasts 5 seconds because then they have to make him a dick again
Right.
so that he can then redeem himself.
So the whole town's at the
Gotta
mall.
re-re
They
himself.
and they have this great
Moment where he's like, "This belongs to you." Whitey.
Yeah, the
And
lyric got me. The lyric made me laugh because it's your moment,
Whitey.
Whitey. And that made me laugh. I don't.
and they're all
Term
like
Whitey
surrounding the mall,
Yeah.
on the upper levels.
Yeah, like 3 tiers, 3 floors of this mall, and they're all in the center, like
And then John
atrium.
Lovett's character, he goes to rips the patch off of him, and he's like, "Ow!" And he goes to.
We
he
didn't
goes-
even talk about the joke that they make at the dinner where he's
I
like,
wonder if that
yeah.
guy ever swiped his ass with the wrong hand.
and he's like,
Yeah.
yes.
But the best is they rip the patch off, and he's like, "Ow!" And he goes to like rub himself, and he sticks himself with the hook, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh."
And
so
everybody
then-
starts giving him
Yeah,
all
and
the
he's like, the
patches. from
35th
all the
annual
years.
All-Star
Every patch.
JCC Awards banquet patch is yours. And the guy's like, and number 34, and number 33. And
32.
then they make this stupid boob joke. Where
The 3
lady's
boob
like,
lady.
and the
Number
31st, and the 30th, and the 29th.
29th. Like, oh, so you're, and they're on her boobs, which means her boobs got the awards.
And you won it 3 years in a row.
makes sense.
I'm
because
calling
though her
bullshit.
boobs won the awards, not
That's
her.
what I'm saying. I'm calling bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
3 years in a row? At least put a gap year in there.
That's what I'm saying though.
Listen.
Like they had to give one to each boob 3 years in a row. Like the right one, then the middle one, then the left one.
Listen,
won.
first time you see that, you're impressed. The second or third time, all right, that's just Jennifer. I mean, that's just Sharon. She's got 3 boobs. It's great.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
Sally, the 3-titted lady.
That's
Yeah.
her thing. That's
so
what
you know
all right.
she might as well have a beard.
Like, what is she doing for money exactly?
No, that's the mayor's husband.
Oh, the mayor. Oh God, the mayor's husband used to be a he, but that was long ago. And it's like, all right, thanks.
Yeah,
Adam.
and then at the end of the movie, it's so rushed because it's like, yeah, Whitey has his moment, and then it's like, oh yeah, they're a couple now. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
Eleanor's like, I'll take the kid. I'll take the boy. Why don't you two spend some time together? But you could play spin the dreidel and then tongue kiss.
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
What?
you can play for tongue kisses
Yeah.
when Benjamin goes to bed.
Yeah, like,
You're like,
what?
oh no,
The kid is still standing there, lady.
dude.
And the
He's
kid-
still like an alcoholic.
Benjamin's probably
Yeah.
like, ew, dude, like, what the
Yeah.
hell, bro?
Like, bruh,
yeah,
Like, you're
Bruh.
cool. Like, you made me go to basketball.
is this
but
old lady gonna kick me in the face? What's happening?
she gonna nunchuck me?
Seriously.
Almost
But-
nunchucked you. You don't even know.
I'm gonna need more games for this Nintendo.
You better
Advance.
get me something better
for this
than a
Game
Game
Boy
Boy.
Advance.
Yeah. And if anybody brings an etch-a-sketch around me, I'm gonna crack it over your
gonna
skull.
I'm gonna shit a chicken.
My shit.
You're gonna need those deer.
And then the best part of this movie is in the credits. You get the Hanukkah song part 3.
That is the only best part of this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we got, because it's a funny version. All of those versions of the Hanukkah song are great, but it starts with the Dreidels who are doing this great
Yeah.
choral version of "Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah," and like, all right, and he goes through the whole thing, and Rob Schneider comes out, he has his verse, but that's honestly like that's it.
Yeah.
Just watch the last 10 minutes of the movie. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. You get enough jokes in there. 3 boobs. The guy with the hook stabs himself in the hand. Whitey has a seizure to end the movie.
Yeah, like, dude, why are we doing that?
of my
This is the happiest seizure of my life. And he's like, I never want this to end or something. And you're just, okay. And then you get the Hanukkah song.
Yeah.
So I just have to say, as a message to all of our Jewish listeners, happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And I'm personally, I feel for you that this is the Hanukkah movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't done a lot of research. I really have, and I haven't looked up. I hope there's other Hanukkah movies. And personally, I will be looking for them this holiday season to find some other Hanukkah movie that celebrates
for next year,
the Jewish tradition,
so we can celebrate with you.
So we can celebrate next year. But this was the first. This was the first one that came to mind.
This was a rough one.
A heartfelt Happy Hanukkah to our Jewish listeners, and I'm sorry for
Merry
this
Christmas, everyone.
Everyone, Happy.
Oh,
Hanukkah.
the Disney Channel Full Court Miracle. That's a Hanukkah.
Is a Hanukkah one?
It's another
Full Court
basketball
Miracle?
movie?
Really?
Jewish people like basketball, bro.
Jewish people like basketball.
They don't like anything else.
Baseball. Sandy Koufax.
Latkes?
Sandy Koufax. He was a Jew.
Rugrats has a Hanukkah movie. I pulled up a list. I knew Full Court Miracle because I did a little research.
I
on
honestly
that one.
learned more about the Jewish heritage and the history of Hanukkah from the Rugrats special in '97.
Oh no! So top 10 Hanukkah movies, right?
Yeah.
Real quick. One is called Menorah in the Middle, which funny movie.
All right.
It's not a funny one. It like shows Hanukkah and all that, which is fine. It's on Hulu. Then you have Full Court Miracle, the Disney Channel original.
All right.
Then you have Rugrats Hanukkah special.
So good.
Number 4 is Fiddler on the Roof, which
Yes.
yeah, but
Isn't that
yeah,
about AIDS?
No, it's
What?
about like the Hanukkah.
About AIDS.
That's the other one. Rent,
Yeah.
right?
And Fiddler on the Roof is
I always
like,
mix them up.
You know that Fiddler on the Roof movie, the really hard gripping one about AIDS?
No, it's Rent. That's
Yeah.
about AIDS.
I know.
I mix them up.
but
I've actually never seen either of them.
Little Fockers is on this list.
Little Foggers.
Yeah.
It's a
The Night Before, which is a Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie.
Oh, I did. I have, and that has the Falcon
Yeah.
in it.
And then they say to watch
What's his name?
Mekhi Phifer.
they say to watch Elf because the director's Jewish.
What the fuck?
To watch Elf?
Guess what number 5 is on this list?
What?
8 Crazy
8
Nights.
Crazy Nights.
That shouldn't be on the
It
list.
says the animated musical flick starring Adam Sandler is the Elf of Hanukkah movies. No.
No.
I love Adam Sandler, and I might like Adam Sandler more than Will Ferrell, but Elf is leaps and bounds better than this movie.
That's why I put on the Will Ferrell behind us, though, because I was like, you see how Will did a soccer movie and it was decent to watch? Like, it wasn't something you immediately wanted to turn
Okay.
off. Dude.
In other words, it hasn't been a total comedy classic since it was released in its early aughts, but fair warning, this is not nearly as much of a masterpiece as Sandler's Hanukkah songs. That's what it says.
And that, I do want to preference it. I do love Adam Sandler movies. I don't love, and I love Punch Drunk Love and like The Wedding Singer. Like, I love in Uncut Gems when he gets real serious. Dude, he
I haven't
can
seen that.
do it.
Good
Oh,
movie.
go
So
see it.
one day I was prepping for the show and I was
Great movie.
I was on a time crunch because I had a lot of stuff going on in the week that we had decided what movies we were doing. And it was on like HBO, and sometimes I'll watch on my iPad and I'll have like the TV on in the background muted or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And it was Uncut Gems, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I could watch this movie just from like looking up and seeing it muted.
Yeah.
It's like a constant state of anxiety, and I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle it.
Good movie.
As I'm getting older, it's like I don't know if I can handle all this anxiety.
But watching him like in that in Uncut, you're like, dude, Adam, you deserve an Oscar nomination in some of these
I think
roles.
one of my
dude.
favorite movies is 50 First Dates.
in 50 First Dates.
Like
awesome
that
movie.
movie. Anytime you take him and Drew Barrymore and put them together, you get The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
You get 50 First Dates. Like
Him and Jennifer Aniston also do.
Yeah,
some
they
good,
do,
some
but-
good films together.
I mean, 50
There's
First Dates.
there's a line in the Uncut
So
Gems movie where the guy's learning how to shoot, like he's teaching him how to shoot under pressure, and he goes to take a shot, and he's like, "I fucked your mother," and the guy's like, "What?" It reminds me of basketball,
Right, yeah.
and so, but he's like,
Your sister's
"Hey,
gonna have
what
to go out
the?"
with squids.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, what the hell, man?" And he like gets really mad at Adam Sandler. He's like, "Dude, they're gonna say much worse than that." And
Yeah.
like he says something to him, and Adam Sandler sinks one. And he's like, "See what I mean?"
Oh man, walk us out of this one time.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Have a wonderful holiday. We really appreciate you. Thank you. You guys mean the world to us as a show. We really enjoy doing this and putting it out there for you guys to listen to. Thanks to everybody that's jumped on our YouTube page and liked and commented and, made this an interactive experience for us. For people who have voted on our Instagram page, nostalgialand.podcast, on our top 10 list, highly debated top 10 list. But you know, we got to pick 10 and put them out there. So we did.
Baby. Yeah, baby.
Check us out. Give us what you think. Vote yes or no on what you like or didn't like. Yeah. So go on there, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, listen to us on Spotify. Check us out on the Tiki Talkies while it still exists. Here in America.
It's still there for now.
Go to check us out on nostalgialandshop.com. And what's on Etsy? Nostalgialand Podcast.
Nostalgialand, Etsy is Nostalgialand Shop, and our website is nostalgialandpodcast.com.
Okay. Nostalgialandpodcast.com.
Yep.
Etsy. And Etsy is
Nostalgialand Shop.
Nostalgialand Shop.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, it's hard when I start saying Nostalgialand so many times to keep it straight.
I get you. Yeah.
But check us out. We got some great stuff, great products. Check out Sunny D, even though they don't officially sponsor us. They are delicious.
We are all about them.
And every time we love them.
Yeah, dude.
And Merry Christmas to Danny DeVito. Thanks for being a part of this for so long, buddy.
I love you, Danny.
Yep. Until next time.
I'm Matt.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Tyler. Cowbunga.
Our episode was longer than that movie. I just want to say, okay, good night.